Yeah, Andrew Stenberg. I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner from Australia. I practiced Maharishi Ayurveda for many years and teach it.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
So how did you first hear about Dr. Naram or come to know of him?
Well, several of my clients many years ago, maybe 15 or more years ago, a number of my clients knew of him through Siddha Yoga connection. And he was visiting Australia for one of his early visits, and they asked me would I like to meet this visiting Vaidya from Mumbai. And I thought that would be a nice opportunity to say hello. So I went to his talk, and there were a lot of people there, and you know, at the end of his talks he likes to give out photographs or some gifts. And so he was doing that, and I was waiting till the end of the line of the people and talking to my friends, my clients. And then when only a few people were left, I got on the end of the line and I went to say hello to him and to meet him. And he's very sharp, you know, he's very clear. And he looked at me and he said, "Oh, you're a healer." Straight away. I said, "Yeah, I practice Maharishi Ayurveda, you know, I've trained with Maharishi." Of course, Pankaj knows Maharishi. He met him when he was very young. His uncle took him to meet him. And he said to me, "Oh, Maharishi makes the best herbal tablets, the best." He said. So ever since then we've been sort of we respect each other and we're good friends. And a few years later I went to Mumbai and did some Punchakarma in a clinic in Mumbai for 2 months. Did 2 months Punchakarma. But many times before that we did things in Australia when he would visit, and Smita would visit. And I remember one time, you know, he's very good with animals. The zoo will often ask him for advice on animals. And when we were in Australia this first time, when we first met, he said, "I've never done a kangaroo's pulse, you know. Is it possible to take me to see a kangaroo next time I come?" So I said, "Yes, I promised him that I would do that." And so next time he came, maybe 6 months later, I had arranged with the sanctuary, animal sanctuary, to go and visit a lady who looked after these orphaned kangaroos. So we drove out into the country and came to this lady's house, and we walked in the yard around. There were maybe 6 or 10 kangaroos, different sizes kangaroos, and in the house there were about 6 or 7 inside the house, including one baby one hanging. You know, the kangaroos are in a pouch, and so this one was hanging in like a little handbag, hanging over the door handle, just a very tiny one. And about 6 other ones, all just around the room, you know, in the furniture. And so he went, "Oh!" You know, he got so excited. And he started taking the pulses of these kangaroos, including the baby one, and said he would send some herbs from India for this baby one. So that was a fun time we had. So, and we got photographs, I took photos of him, so they're now part of his, I think probably on the website or something he gives out with these various animal photos. Oh, that was good, so many stories. Yeah, I had the 2 months Punchakarma in Mumbai, which was a very good experience, very good clinic. One of the real pluses of this clinic is that it's built according to Vastu, also Vastu Vidya, which means that the healing that can take place there is more powerful. That was a great experience. I think I'm probably a person who's probably had the longest continuous Punchakarma in Mumbai, I think, in all these years.
Could you tell a difference before versus after? Anything physically, mentally, emotionally that you could distinctly know?
Oh, yeah. Well, Punchakarma is so powerful to change so many things. And yes, of course, especially after that length of time. But the treatments there are excellent quality. And the changes that took place just unfolded over this 56 days, I think it was. So many differences. I remember when I went back to my clinic in Australia, in Melbourne in Australia, after that, the staff looked at me and they said, "We can see through you, we can almost see through you, almost translucent," they said, I remember. And yeah, and then what I really noticed after that treatment was my spouse was very sick and I had to nurse her for a year solid, and it was very demanding. And really, through that whole year, I know that if I hadn't had that treatment, almost immediately before, there would be the stress levels and the fatigue levels would have been much worse than they were. So Punchakarma, good Punchakarma, of course, it makes a huge difference to your immunity and to your resilience.
What good timing.
Perfect timing.
Is there any in particular difficult cases that you've noticed or that you've seen that Dr. Naram has been able to help with? Anything that you think was more difficult or interesting?
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen him use Mama in some very interesting ways. I've assisted him with Mama treatments in Mumbai at different times. And I remember one particular time, a woman, probably she was in her mid-40s, brought her mother in. Mother would have been perhaps 70-ish. And the mother had dementia and couldn't recognise the daughter or her own name. And Dr. Naram spoke to her and assessed her, and he did a very interesting thing. He had the daughter, he walked with the mother across the room, and he had the daughter, when they were about 15 feet away, call out her mother's name, call to her, Mum, you know, like this, her name. And she did that, and there was no recognition, didn't even blink. And then he brought her back and did some treatments with her for maybe 15 minutes, and then did exactly the same thing. And the daughter called the mother, just like that, suddenly like that, and then she turned around and answered her. She said, oh yeah, hello, and she knew her name, walked back to her, and they started talking. That's, you know, pretty remarkable stuff. And I saw a little boy also with Mama, who was only 4 or 5. He had some cerebral condition, I don't remember what the condition was, but he was like a limp rag doll, and had never walked, had no motor control whatsoever. He was a complete rag doll. And the mother brought him in, just folded over her arms. And you know, in about 20 minutes or 25 minutes, the child walked for the first time. First just stumbling steps, falling. He had himself over there and the mother over here, and would hold the little boy. And had done all this treatment on him, Mama, and spoken to him, and hold him, and the boy would fall. And then next time the mother turned him back to Dr. Naram, and then took maybe one step, and then each time they turned him around, you'd take 1 or 2 more steps. And after about half a dozen times doing this, the little boy had this big smile on his face. It's the first time he'd ever walked in his life. And the whole room, maybe 200 people, were just tears pouring down their faces. Everybody was just overwhelmed. So there's a couple of interesting stories. You can see just how much knowledge is there.
What makes Dr. Naram, or these ancient secrets, or his lineage, what makes him unique, or this lineage unique, or how would you describe him?
Just before I answer that, I just need to make sure that she's coming. Do you need to go? You okay?
Actually,
you're happy here?
Ob es dir hier gut geht, ob du gut sitzt, ob alles in Ordnung ist.
No problem. And in fact, let's hear her story first. So, when she first came, what was your reaction?
You have to do it in German.
Als du das erste Mal hierher kamst, was war deine Reaktion?
Was war da?
Deine Reaktion, als du das erste Mal hierher kamst, im Dezember.
Yeah, how would you describe it to someone who doesn't know?
Wie würdest du das alles beschreiben, als jemand, der das halt überhaupt nicht kennt, der hierher gekommen ist? Wie war das, als wir hier hochkamen?
Für mich irgendwie ungewöhnlich. So viele Leute, alle warteten auf einen Platz, dass sie dass sie angenommen wurden. Und es war irgendwie ungewöhnlich. Anders als wenn ich bei uns normal zum Arzt gehe. Anders.
It was different than she would go to a German doctor. It was really different. The whole room was full of stuff with people, and everybody was waiting where you come, and you had people from all the countries. So it was different.
and then what was this problem, the struggle? What was it like before, and what kind of results has she seen?
Also, was du vorher für Probleme hattest Und was du jetzt sagen könntest, was sich für dich verbessert hat?
Ich war in einem schlechten Zustand. Ich möchte nicht sagen seelisch, nein, allgemein mein Zustand, weil ich so viel Schmerzen habe.
She had so much pain.
Wie der Zustand war, kann ich nicht beschreiben. Aber ich kann beschreiben, auf einem Mal, als ob in meinem Körper die Sonne aufgegangen ist. Ich war frei. Eine ganz irre Situation.
Du kannst jetzt mal übersetzen, das wird sonst zu viel. She felt really worse because probably of all the pain she felt, and the whole time it doesn't feel good. And then when she had the first treatment, it was like the sun was going out and raised up, and everything felt much better. So like you, she could start breathing again, and so she feels like the sun goes out.
Die Ausstrahlung dann auf einmal, weißt du, mein Äußeres.
And then it shines outside, so she looks better, and to the people it looks like she's good, you know, everything fine, because the sun shines again.
So the people respond better.
Yes.
Ne? Und ja, und hinzu kam dann, dass die Verdauung wesentlich besser geworden war. Ich habe ja die Tabletten genommen.
It's better, much better.
Und darüber war ich natürlich sehr glücklich. Aber ich habe das immer vor dem Frühstück genommen.
But she took the herbs before breakfast, and that stuffed her. And now, since today, she knows she can use it after breakfast, and that will hopefully better.
Genau. Und dann war ich nach einigen Wochen zugeschnürt, konnte ich das nicht mehr machen. Dann habe ich es hinterher gegessen. Und das ist mir besser bekommen. Aber im Augenblick habe ich mit der Verdauung wieder Probleme. Und da habe ich mal ein paar Tage ausgesetzt, weil ich ja heute hier bin. Und nun hat mir der Doktor eine andere Zusammensetzung aufgeschrieben.
So the whole week she took almost the herbs, but then she was really stuffed, she couldn't use them anymore. And then she tried it after breakfast, it was a little bit better. But now she decided no, the digestion doesn't function anymore, so it stopped it. Hast du ganz aufgehört, deine Medikamente zu nehmen? Ja, ne?
Nur eine Woche.
And so she didn't took the herbs for 1 week because she knew she has a appointment here, and so this time he switched some pills, and so she says it was going further. Ne? Es geht weiter bergauf, ne? Hast du gesagt?
Meine Familie sagt, ich habe wieder Power.
Her family says she has power again.
What for you? Like, what made you want to recommend her to come to Dr. Naram, and how does it feel to see the results that you see?
Well, yeah.
Hat über seine Erfolge erzählt.
Ja, du sollst nur still sein, erst dran.
Ja, gut.
The one important thing was that Dr. Naram comes here regularly, and with certain serious health conditions, if I'm referring someone, I will only refer to people who I'm confident will handle it properly. And there were 2 important points there, both of those points. That he's available, and some people he has trained for support are available, and also that I know, because I've worked with him myself, and I know what a good Vaidya, and he's one of the best Vaidyas, is capable of doing. And so that was the obvious reason. You want the family to be taken care of course, but we also want any of your clients to be taken care of. So knowing that Pankaj Naram was here, of course, I can with confidence suggest. And they were brave enough, or sensible enough, to actually come follow that advice. And now the results, wonderful results. So that's why.
Very good. So then back to this last question then. What it is that makes Dr. Naram, his lineage, unique?
His lineage?
Or
Well, his lineage, that lineage is a very old lineage, and it's very well versed in certain texts that are very effective in treating quite serious and chronic health conditions. It has a long history. Now, let me say that any competent practitioner of Ayurveda of any school will get results, different results. With Ayurshakti, you know, it's because of the combination of the Mama knowledge with the herbal knowledge and the Punchakarma knowledge. That combination is very integrated in that particular school. And but having said that, that school is good, and he is the exponent of that school, and he is the carrier of the flag of that school now. So he's very well versed in it. He's what he is, what we see that he's capable of in his practice, is simply the reflection of what that school is. And it's been outside of India, because India was occupied for a long time. It was mainly protected in Tibet, outside of India, and then it was brought back. So the various other schools of Ayurveda, you know, the British, when they were in India, they tried to stamp out Ayurveda, particularly in the early 1800s. But that school had gone north much earlier than that. It was when the Mughals came in. And there are texts, I don't know if you know any of this, but he has certain ancient texts that are written on yak hide, and in Pali and Tibetan and Sanskrit. And some of those, one's been carbon dated to 1800 years ago, some of them have burn marks around the outside. You know, these are stacks of leaves held between boards. And some of them have these burn marks, and they're actually pulled out of the fires, the burning libraries at the time the Mughals went in and rescued and taken to Tibet. It's a big history, it's a powerful history. So that particular school has a continuous and excellent history.
Fantastic. Then last thing for both of you, just some personal message for Dr. Naram. So you can say, Dr. Naram, thank you. Or whatever, from your heart. Pretend like you're speaking to him.
Wenn du von deinem Herzen irgendwie eine persönliche Nachricht für Dr. Naram hast, wenn du was sagen möchtest.
So pretend like this is him, Doctor.
Er ist,
Nichts über ihn, das
er hat mich sehr beeindruckt.
Oh, I missed the English word.
Impressed.
Yes, so easy.
Wie heißt das?
Impressed?
Yes. Er hat mich wirklich impressed.
Also er hat mich beeindruckt, dass ich ihm Glauben schenken konnte.
So she could believe him, what he said.
Ja.
Vertrauen, was Vertrauen, trustful, ne? Sie hatte gleich das Gefühl, ihm vertrauen zu können.
Very good. And
You.
Well, my dear friend Pankaj, what can I say except an ongoing friendship which has brought great good into my practice and my life, and good friends with you and your family, and I look forward to many more years of the same.
No, we don't want to, but I want to tell him for one hour. He's short. Yeah, but now I'm gonna for 1 hour. 6. Where's the mom?
Alles gut? So you're given? Ist es?
Ja, gut. Müsst ihr ihn mal übersetzen.
Ja, das
Ich habe schon lange einen Anruf der mir den Kopf zurecht.
She was looking for a long time for someone who will really correct her head.
Und jetzt habe ich ihn gefunden.
Genau, she found you.
Now, can we see one? I have done one remove the block. We have removed the block.
Also, der Dr. Naram hat jetzt bereits den Block verändert. Er hat den
Would you like to stand? Would you like to walk a few steps?
Sie müssten mal bitte versuchen aufzustehen und jetzt so gucken, wie Sie laufen. Ja, she can do that.
Hold on. So we do one.
It's very push-ups. It's very difficult. I can do maybe 2. How many did you do, honey?
Do one? You're not sure making some push-ups at the moment.
So, sweetie pie, is he good?
Now I want you to stand and walk forward. Okay, out. Everybody is waiting for you. Come on. Huh? Good. You walk with the right foot. This is the right foot.
Mit dem rechten Fuß anfangen zu laufen.
Go. Very good. Very good. Very good. Now turn right, turn right. This is right in here.
Rechtsdrehung. Genau. Und wieder mit dem rechten Fuß anfangen zu laufen. Und weiter, genau. Moment, stopp. Gerade stehen, gerade.
Okay.
Moment, Sie kurz.
Now you walk.
Jetzt wieder laufen, mit dem rechten jetzt. Jawohl. Und gerade aufrecht. Aufrecht laufen, jawohl.
Something has happened.
Something has happened. You started walking.
Sie haben angefangen zu laufen. Fühlt sich besser.
Okay, now do you need this or we can give it to somebody?
Brauchen Sie den noch oder können wir den weggeben?
Geben wir noch weg.
Give it away. Können Sie noch mal sagen, wie es Ihnen jetzt geht nach dem Mama?
Ja, gut.
Very good she feels.
Yeah, and the walking is good.
Und wie war das Laufen? Wie hat sich das angefühlt?
Ja,
More strong.
ganz
Stärker?
ja,
Mehr Kraft?
mehr Kraft.
Ja, she
Vor
feels
allen
stronger.
Dingen auch aus den Beinen.
She feels more strength in the legs.
Fantastic. More strength in the legs.
How long has it been since she's walked like that?
Hat Punkte gefunden, die wirklich problemhaft bei mir waren.
She said you found the points which were a real problem.
Very good. One second. Let me say. Very good. Very good.
Super.
Very good, yes. Na, ich bin ja nicht fest angewiesen.
Wie lange?
Wie lange haben Sie den Rollstuhl schon?
Den habe ich leider übernommen von meinem Bruder.
Und wie lange ist es schon her?
Ein Jahr.
Since 1 year she has a wheelchair and she got it from her brother.
So now you can give it to your brother or somebody else.
Jetzt können Sie es zu irgendjemand anderen geben oder einen anderen Bruder.
Ja, ist in Ordnung.
Okay, she's doing
Wenn ich morgen noch
3 years ago, Dr. Naram started, and then it slowly degraded.
dann haben Sie es.
She says if she can look backwards tomorrow, still.
Sure. Okay.
What difference?
She doesn't see it where she looks at it and thinks she doesn't.
What difference do you notice in her? What have you seen?
Can you see her happy?
happy she looks. You know, she's going to be 83 this summer, and she was completely strong and healthy when she was 80. And then she got this Lyme disease, you know, from the ticks. And then the rheumatism came and everything, and now she couldn't lift her hands anymore and had pain the whole time. Just look at her. It's great.
Yeah, this is her daughter. Says, yes.
Very good, happy. Thank him because of him.
Dr. Naram.
You know, she said just now after the mama, she said, please tell Andrew one thing. I forgot to tell Dr. Naram that my neck has a severe pain since 3 months. And when Dr. Naram took her pulse, then after, he said immediately about her severe neck pain, and she was so happy about that. Sorry.
And you've seen it happen for so many other people. What's it like seeing for your mother-in-law what just happened now?
Yeah, it's a marvelous change, a very big change. Yeah, she's. It's just quite instant. Since she started the treatment last year, she's been better and better. This you could see the shift. The shift here, you can see in her face. It's much lighter. She's much freer.
Very beautiful. Can you tell her how beautiful she is?
Ja, ich muss das alles zurückgeben.
She has to give everything back, she tells. My sister and her boyfriend, we gave them the wheelchair, and then they can go by train home, and we both go and walk now through Berlin and doing stuff, maybe a party or something to drink or whatever. She's asking if she could have the clip from the video, because she would like to let her husband see it. Because he always, her husband only sings to all his women, but we wanted to take him here too, and he didn't want to. And so hopefully he comes up here and so he needs more power too.
He gets inspired, yeah. She's very thoughtful. Look at you walking. Amazing.
She really forgot to use her stick.
She forgot it.
She forgot to use her stick. Where's your stick?
Amazing, wow. Very good. So now,
So she can give away the stick also.
Yes, right here. And Giovanni, you want?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Zeig nochmal, was sie
Sagen Sie es nochmal.
Also wenn immer was ist oder so, wo sie nicht mehr weiter.
Liebling, can you make these candies? Can you make this?
Sie sagt was. Ja, sorry. Was wollen Sie denn sagen?
Ja, das ist gelaufen.
Ich wollte nur zeigen, wie
Ich wollte nur zeigen, dass ich mich jetzt nach allen Seiten umdrehen kann.
She said she just wanted to show that it's possible for her to turn.
Say, look at me, I rock.
Yes!
Look at me, I rock.
Genau. Geht nur, wenn man dann mitmacht.
Ja.
The only problem is something
Ihre Mann oder
husband needs to join her. Otherwise,
She would like
she
to
does.
dance.
She does.
You were never, 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 never alone. Never alone, my dear. Never alone. Never alone, my dear. You're never alone. Never alone, my dear. Never alone. You might think you're by yourself, but you're never alone. And when I cry, you always comfort me. You say, let those tears just roll on by. And then I feel your arm around me. You are never, 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 never alone.